the Bank of Japan, that nation's central bank, has unveiled a $33 billion lending plan. And the goal here is to encourage lending to businesses. We partner with the FT to bring you Lex on Bloomberg, so you can get a sneak peek at the Financial Times' flagship column a day early. And Ben McLannahan joins me now live from Hong Kong. Ben, any indications that this program will stimulate lending, that it'll do the trick?
Well, that is the stated aim. But if you read paragraph 1 of the BOJ's explanation today, it reads more like a disclaimer. It's an explicit reminder that stimulating economic growth in Japan is the responsibility primarily of private economic agents. And anyone with any experience in Japan knows that if you rely on private economic agents to stimulate growth, then you've got a problem, because it's those people that are so traumatized by the collapse almost 30 years ago of the property market that they still associate debt-driven growth with irresponsibility. And that is why, despite some earlier programs from the BOJ similar to this, offering 3-month money at overnight rates, have failed to stir loan growth. In fact, loans have contracted. Loans were contracting in December at about -1%, and they're now in May at -2%.
Okay, so is the problem on the supply side or on the demand side?
Yeah, well, there's nothing wrong with the supply side. Banks are keen to lend money, but there's just no demand from corporates. As I've said, they're still over-leveraged. Back before the crunch, things were looking in pretty good shape. The net debt to EBITDA ratio of the Nikkei 225 was about 1.9, which is within sight of a comfort zone, where you think that people might think about starting to pursue some debt-driven growth. But now, thanks to a complete collapse in earnings as a result of the deepest recession post-war in Japan, they're now up to about 2.8, and that's within spitting distance of the S&P, which of course is massively contracting, deleveraging. That's on about 3.4.
So what is the Bank of Japan thinking then with this new program?
Well, it's sort of a triumph of optimism over experience, I think. I think that the best reading is that it's a peace offering to the government, a demonstration that they are doing something, at least, to try to stimulate demand and to head off this persistent deflation.
Okay, and Ben, how much is this linked to the fact that we have a new government in place in Japan, a new prime minister?
Yeah, this plan was in the works before then. It dates to the end of April. Shirakawa-san, that the governor said he was pursuing some kind of addition to the previous 3-month lending program to stimulate demand. So it's not an explicit reaction to Naoto Kan taking over from Hatayama-san, but it is, as I say, it's a peace offering. It's an attempt to build bridges and to create the sense to the outside world that institutions in Japan, having spent so long at loggerheads, are at last on the same page.
So a very expensive $33 billion program for a lot of symbolism, essentially.
That's right.
All right. Thank you so much. We've been speaking with Ben McLannahan, FT Lex writer. He was joining us from Hong Kong.